What is the Cure for Christianity Library? My name is David Madison. On the 20th of July 2019, I am an ex-clergy atheist. By the time I had finished my PhD in biblical studies at Boston University and served 9 years in the Methodist pastorate, I had given up belief in God. When my book was published 3 years ago, my publisher did not want to include a bibliography. I love bibliographies because it would have increased page count too much. But this turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I parked the bibliography on my book's website, and I can add titles to it at any time as the books keep coming, as they do. This is where you can find it, www.10toughproblems.com, under the tab Books and Quotes. But the word bibliography is pretty stuffy, so I decided to call it the Cure for Christianity Library, in homage to Mark Twain's famous comment that the best cure for Christianity is reading the Bible. But there are now many ways to get cured. I lead off the preface with this. What do you think about the upheaval in Jesus studies? This is the question I would dearly like to pose to Christian friends, to be met, I am sure, in most cases, with blank stares. What upheaval? Because they are not paying attention. In fact, the Jesus question has been removed from the exclusive domain of Bible scholars and church bureaucrats. Most New Testament scholars, after all, have been and remain committed to the Jesus faith. Secular observers decided that this biased community could no longer be trusted to provide honest answers about who and what Jesus was. So you will find plenty of titles on this list by secular analysts who have opened up Jesus studies as never before and exposed its faulty methodologies and conclusions. For example, books by Richard Carrier, Earl Doherty, David Fitzgerald, Raphael Lataster, Robert Price, and R.G. Price. Of course, it's not just about Jesus. Theism in general, and Christianity in particular, have been subjected to penetrating and withering critique. As I point out in the introduction of my book, we are experiencing, and have been for some 20-25 years, an unprecedented atheist publishing surge. This has never happened before, ever. There are more than 300 titles on this Cure for Christianity library. Some of the titles predate 2000. I have included them because they are classics in the deconstruction of Christianity. For example, H.L. Mencken's 1932 book, Treatise on the Gods. Not all of the authors cited here are atheists, but one thing that they do have in common is their conviction that the Christian brand of theism, no matter how successful it has been falsified. My purpose in this Cure for Christianity library is to document many of the resources now available to inquiring minds. And I do hope that Christians can take the hint. Use this list to get a grasp of what all the fuss is about. Why we have been smacking Christianity down so emphatically. And get a move on. Tackle the homework. These are the resources that have come to my attention in book form. If you want to suggest other titles, let me know via the website. Admittedly, this approach may have an archaic aroma. Books? What percentage of the populace, spread across multiple demographics, still reads books? But even for people who no longer pick up hard copies, the titles here can be considered portals. Many of the authors on this list have their own websites, Facebook pages, blogs, and are on Twitter. In my book, I presented 10 tough problems in Christian thought and belief to whet the appetite. Please pursue research, read, probe, find out how Jesus, Christianity, and theism have all been so convincingly slam-dunked.